Tak dámy a pánové, právě teď budeme mít další zahraniční návštěvu, zahraničního hosta. Tou společností, kterou bude náš host reprezentovat, je Oatly. Měli jste možnost ochutnat baristickou verzi tohoto mléka v kávě. Věřím, že stejně jako já jste to udělali. Proto mi právě teď dovolte přivítat na pódiu Tobyho Weedona, který je manažerem baristického vývoje právě ve společnosti Oatly. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi. Great. Let me just pop this here, and here. Okay. So, next slide. Hey, Plum Power Perspectives. Thank you for having me today. I am really excited to come and talk to you about Oatly. What I would really like to do is to introduce myself, then I'm going to talk a bit more about who we are, what we're doing as a company, where we've come from, where we're going, and just hopefully give you a bit of an understanding as to what we're up to. So, my name is Toby Weedon. I am the Barista Development Manager for Oatly, and what I am basically responsible for is launching our product into new markets, and I work with an amazing team of barista market developers who sell into the coffee industry, and that is the like secret golden nugget of what we do as a brand in order to launch and grow. So let's start by telling you a bit more about us. We were founded in 1994. We were founded by a guy called Richard Buster, who is a food scientist, and he discovered a new process of making plant milks from oats at Lund University. And because of his background as a food scientist, we started off very much as an industrial scientific company with the aim to bypass the cow, because the cow is an incredibly inefficient way of taking a source grain, you feed it to the cow and you get a milk-like product. There's so many more efficient ways of doing that, and our process of bypassing the cow saves so many carbon emissions for doing it that way. But we were kind of boring, and then these two guys joined, Tony and John Schoolcraft, so they became the CEO and Chief Creative Officer, and they completely changed our brand from being a food processing company with kind of boring packaging that's super kind of scientific and foodie into being more of a lifestyle brand. And this is where we see ourselves today. The way to make people change, the way to help people change, is to become a part of their everyday lives. And the three pillars that sit underneath our company are that of sustainability, nutritional health, and trust. And then on top of that, we also promise to be a good company. And by being a good company, what that means is that we want to continue growing and moving forwards in a way that is fucking fearless. Because in order to create the change that we need to make, in order to change the way that people consume, we have to be fucking fearless in order to help drive that change. Driving a movement means becoming a part of people's everyday lives, capturing their attention and not behaving like a brand. And the way that we've done this is to, this is slightly different in my presentation, but never mind. The way that we've done this is we've taken an external agency and moved them inside our company so that we have essentially an ad agency within our business, so that they're able to take a linear brand personality, maintain the disruptive activity, and still have that true purpose of what it is that we're trying to do in the way that we're trying to do it. And lots of this causes a bit of friction for us internally, because the Oatly Department of Mind Control, they have incredibly insane bold vision, and they truly are fucking fearless. and they present stuff back to us, and we're like, oh shit, like we have to take that out to the market and show it to people, but they've never let us down, and we, by continuing to be brave and to work with them, we're on this incredible trajectory. So what they do is they really play with the form of advertising. This advert, at the time that we ran this, it really played with the form by being super meta. It doesn't really tell you anything about the product, it doesn't really tell you anything about the brand. And it's really like taking the form of an advert and playing with it and saying that people don't actually pay that much attention to adverts. Or there's something like this.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You did a bus stop ad promoting.
Or there's something like the thing that's on the next slide that is going to play automatically, which I wasn't prepared for, where they've taken that form again and played with it and created this video that is based on a whole series of adverts. And this video eventually became the Instagram advert for this entire campaign. Oh.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You did a bus stop ad promoting a road trip, then made a boat sign about the bus stop ad, then did a social media post about the boat sign, then did a billboard about the social media post. Then that famous organ player woman posted a video in front of the billboard, so you made a mobile truck ad about her video, then made a newspaper ad about the truck, and then made a mural about that newspaper ad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so is that it?
Well, no, because this is the internal meeting about the mural that shows the newspaper ad, that shows the mobile truck, that shows that Oregon woman video in front of the billboard, that shows the social media posts, that shows the boat sign, that shows the bus stop ad promoting the ocean.
Right. So what about Instagram?
But it's not all just fun and games. Sometimes we have to plant our flag as to what our mission is and what the movement that we're trying to drive is. So we ran this advert originally in Sweden. We're not allowed to show this advert in Sweden anymore because the dairy lobby sued us for saying that cow's milk is not fit for human consumption. We lost. We paid a considerable amount of money, and this phrase is now illegal in Sweden. So when we ran this campaign in London, we had to set aside a suing budget so that if the British dairy lobby wanted to take us to court, we then had the budget to do that. But what we also did that was probably a bit too naughty, but we managed to get away with it, was to stamp this on cookies and give them out outside the Swedish embassy so that they were legal outside the embassy, but if anyone were to take it into the Swedish embassy, that cookie then becomes illegal. And what this all adds up to is us being a voice, and that voice is the voice of the post-milk generation. And what I find completely astounding is that so many of these photos come from people posting them on their own personal social media, and no one posts adverts on their social media. I couldn't tell you the last time I took a photo of an advert and posted it on my Instagram. But these are all from people's Instagram, and they're taking our message and making it a part of their own message, and they're helping us to drive the post-milk generation by being a part of the post-milk generation themselves. And why are we doing this? We have a bold vision to lead a global movement in reducing consumer dependency on cow's milk by 50%. And how are we getting on with that? And how is that working out for us? So I'm going to show you some data. I think it's all Nielsen data. It's mostly Nielsen data about kind of where we're at and how things are going in some markets. And I focus specifically on the German market as a way of giving you a real understanding of kind of the momentum and trajectory that we're on. So oat is the number one crop in dairy alternatives. Oatly is the number one within oat. we've been boosting the growth of the category since launching, and this is the #1 product, which is our Barista Edition product. And to have a look at where oat is and the meteoric rise of oat over the past few years, you can see like Sweden, which is our home base, we've been the market leader, or oat has been the market leader there. Oat has been growing massively in the United Kingdom, Germany as well, and then the US, where we're slightly behind, we're still building that momentum as well. And then let's have a look at the market share value of the different crops, and you can see at the top, with currently 67%, oat has been growing over the past few years, fairly consistency, whilst the other crops are in slow decline. And then here is our value share against some different brands as well. And then this is taking only the barista-specific products into account, so all of these brands, and obviously Barista Edition is at an insane amount of value sales at the moment, but what we really want to see is the continued growth of all of these brands and all of these products and all of these plant-based products, because all boats sail on a rising tide. So the more we can grow the category, the better we're all going to do in terms of changing consumer habits and consumer perceptions of plant milk. Yeah, okay, what about coffee? Coffee really is where the story starts. For me, I joined Oatly in 2016 at the same time as the launch of the Barista Edition product. And this was like a real moment in time for Oatly as a brand, because we realized very quickly that the best place for people to interact with our product and interact with our brand was in their favorite coffee shops. So the more that we could get into those places and those coffee shops, the more that people would get to try our product in a delicious way. And with Oatly versus dairy, where you're looking at the way of consuming it, you have either a drink that is rich, creamy and delicious and dairy-based, or you have a drink that is rich, creamy and delicious and oat-based and has a considerably lower carbon footprint. And it's that difference that we want to offer consumers. We want to offer consumers an easy choice, an easy way of switching, so that they can make that decision themselves as to which product they want, but we want to be there and be present with a product that has a much lower carbon footprint. And we started in the UK, we started in London with this idea and this strategy, and now every market that we launch into, every city that we're in, we have recently ex-baristas join us, and they come to work with us to help grow our product and our brand and our strategy in the coffee channel. And we're doing that right now in Prague. We have Simona, who's working really hard at changing the perception and the minds of lots of coffee shops across the city. And it's a really good way of interacting with people and building the brand. And then as it builds in the coffee shops, as it builds in the coffee channel, that's when more and more people begin to interact with our product, with our brand. And then they convert to retail shoppers as well. So the better we do within the coffee channel, the better we can do in retail. The more the category grows, the more plant-based milks grow as well. And that is it for me. I just want to say, to finish, my colleagues Jens and Simona will be stood at our table at the back. If you have any more, if you want to talk to them, please come and talk to them. And then if you want to try the product as well, the amazing Beansmiths are making coffees with our Barista Edition as well. So please come and try a coffee. Come and chat to the team. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. Should we share? Uh-oh.
Is there anyone helping me? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Toby, thank you for perfect timing again. We have so great guests. Thank you. Thank you for inspirative talk. You mentioned 50% share, let's say, plant-based milk and cow's milk. Do you have a target in terms of a year?
We don't yet have a target in terms of a year. I think like science tells us that it needs to be as quickly as possible. And I think to even put that flag out there and say that we even think it's possible to erode dairy consumption by 50%, I think is an incredibly brave statement to make. So we're still looking at timelines and we're still trying to work out when we think it might happen, but I think the first step is to say we're going to do it and then to start working on doing it.
Love it. Okay, thank you. What about other products? Are there any plans in terms of something else than a milk alternative or an ice cream alternative?
Yeah, so we have Sweden being the home and where we're the most advanced, is the most advanced at market. We have a whole range of products. We have oat gurts, we have ice creams, we have like a creme fraiche equivalent, we have a cream cheese equivalent. And as we're building in Prague and as we're building in Czech Republic, we will bring more and more of those products over as we grow as well.
Perfect, thank you. And last question that I have is about the sauce. Now it's oats only.
Yes.
Are there any plans to do something else than oats with Oatly?
I think the clue is in the name, very much. But yeah, oats is what we know. We're the experts on oats, and we're really going into like granular detail. We're running a project at the moment where we're dissecting the oat genome so that we can get to understand like the genetic makeup of oats, so that we can help make things better and make it easier to grow oats and really farm specific oats in a specific way so that we can get the best yield in the most sustainable way. So oats is it for us.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
Calcium. Your product is fortified with calcium.
Yeah.
The reason is nutritional value or something else?
It's 100% to do with nutrition. So yeah, we add calcium. We also are a rich source of vitamin D, which cow's milk does not have the same level as vitamin D as us. And in order to process the calcium that you absorb into your body, you need vitamin D. And for my colleagues in the Nordic countries, they're not naturally getting very much vitamin D from the sun. So we need to help everyone as much as we can by putting the vitamin D into our products. So yeah, calcium, vitamin D, riboflavin, iodine. Yeah, we want to have all of the good stuff in our products as well.
Love it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.